name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Till Death. And this movie is about a woman that wakes up handcuffed to her dead husband. And I know that sounds a little bit like Gerard's Game that came out a few years back, but this movie is its totally own thing. It's very different from that one. It stars Megan Fox, who's not a great actress, but I definitely think she has a lot of potential, and she hasn't been given much credit before in the past. I thought she was fantastic in Jennifer's Body, a movie that I'm glad is finally getting the credit it deserves because I really love that movie. She's also good in A Small War in This Is 40, but she's really good in this movie. She's in almost every single scene and she carries this movie so well. You buy every single emotion that she tries to sell you. When she's sad, you buy it. When she's mad, you buy it. When she's terrified, you buy it. She's very convincing in this movie. And the rest of the cast does a fine job too, but no one really stands out like she does. I like how this movie has very few characters, and the characters that it does have aren't nobodies. They each serve a purpose. They have connections to her past. They have a role to play in the story. Every single character feels essential to this story. And I think this movie does a great job of building tension. I was constantly on the edge of my seat. There was a few scenes where I noticed my palms were sweaty. Mom spaghetti! But my favorite aspect of this movie is how it never gets old. This movie constantly switches things up. So it starts off as one kind of movie, then it turns into a different kind of movie, and then it turns into a different kind of movie. So right when I'm watching, I'm thinking, okay, this is good, but I'm going to get tired of this if this is the rest of the movie. And just when you think you're going to get tired of it, it switches things up. So the movie is consistently fresh throughout. It doesn't get old, and because of that, I was able to be entertained for its entire runtime. S.K. Dale does a really good job directing this movie, and also, this movie takes place in the cold, and you definitely feel it. There are times where I'm just like, oh, I feel cold just watching this. Just, you can see their breasts, you can see that their skin is getting red, and they're shivering. They sell you on the resin. I also love how this entire plot is just one giant metaphor. You can tell that the husband looks at his wife and just views her as a trophy wife, about how she feels held back by him, how she doesn't feel loved or appreciated, and how when she wakes up chained to him, how you can look at that and be like, oh, okay, so it's how she felt the entire marriage, about she was feeling changed, she was feeling held back. And I think when you look at the movie through that lens, you can definitely pick up on a lot more than what's initially there, about how if you don't think about this movie, it's just an entertaining thriller, but if you look into it, there's a lot more depth to it. I'm not going to say it's fine art, but the substance is definitely there. That said, I will say that this movie took a little too long to get going for me. I'm just watching it, and I'm just like, when's that till death part of this movie gonna get going? And once you get there, the movie's great, but it does take a little bit to get there, and the first act does kind of have a Lifetime feel to it. And once it gets going, it's consistently entertaining, but there are two things that this movie does that drives me nuts. It's present in lots of other horror movies and thrillers. I hate it in other movies and I hate it in this movie. The first one is when they're looking for the person and they're like, where is this person? And they're about to walk up to a couch that they're hiding behind. They're walking, and then suddenly someone's just like, hey, what's that over here? And then they stop right before they get to that person, and they turn around. It just feels so contrived. It doesn't feel natural, and I'm just like, every time it happens, I'm just like, you're building tension well, and I'm just, it's just not satisfying to watch. And then there's also the cliche of the good guys winning, they're kicking ass, they're about to get away scot-free, they got the bad guys down on the ground, and it's just like, why are you stopping there? Why are you running away now? You got them on the ground, you're winning this. Like, finish them off, get them, kill them! And then they just get up and they run away, and of course the bad guys get up and chase after them, and it's just like, why didn't you just get them while they were down? It just, that stuff drives me crazy. So those two cliches I absolutely hate. I wish they weren't in any movie ever, period. So I didn't like seeing them here. And it does take a little while to get going, but once it does, it consistently freshens things up. It's tense, it's thrilling. Megan Fox is really good in this movie. It's well directed. I definitely had a good time with this movie. So I'm going to go ahead and give Till Death a 7 out of 10. Okay, did you watch Till Death? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.